up? Hey. Oh no, are you okay?
Right, okay. Too stressed.
She definitely just kind of like faked it.
I think she did too. Alright. If you're watching this in the future, I'm just waiting for people to log on for the live stream before I start really talking and introducing myself. So, just gonna wait. Oh, there's one person. Hi. Alright, my name is Bobbie, and this is my best friend Sunny. She came to help with me today just because it's Hanukkah and I wanted to celebrate it with her. The first night of Hanukkah. And today's class is Chanukah Yin. And then also I wanted to show Merwin's, but she got really mad. Here's Mingy's new little lion outfit. That's what they got for their first night of Hanukkah. Alright. So we're gonna start in a sec here. I'm just gonna go through the props. So it's good to have 2 blocks, maybe a strap if you have one, a bolster, a blanket, and if you don't have yoga props, you could just grab a bunch of pillows and a bunch of blankets and use those instead. And I think that's it. So yeah, if you need to grab any props, go ahead. And then we're gonna get started with legs up the wall. I'm just trying to think. I'll go to this side and we'll move the blocks over a little bit. Well, also I wanted to start with lighting the menorah first. So let's do that. And Sonny's gonna light it. So we'll set it up. And then we're gonna put it in the window so we don't have to worry about it being in the middle of the yoga mat. I just want everyone to kind of see it. Alright. Here. So you want to light the middle candle, the shamash, which means helper. Mingy. Get away from there.
Not Mingy.
Mingy, you're not the helper. And then you use the shamash to light all the other candles. Tonight there's only one because it's the first night. And you always want to light the menorah from right to left because that's how you read Hebrew. Ta-da! Yay! Happy Hanukkah!
Happy Hanukkah! Day 1 of survival for the Jews.
Alright, I'm going to stick it in the window because that's what you're supposed to do. Even though this window kind of has a house blocking it, so no one's really going to see it. But I'm still going to base it so the candle is on the right side for everyone else to see. And there you go. There we go. Alright, cool. Now we'll get started. We're going to start with legs up the wall. So to do that, like Sunny's doing, you'll bring one hip right up to the wall and then kind of spin your legs up. And try to get your butt as close to the wall as you can. And if you don't, I forgot to mention that you would need a wall, but if you don't have a wall and you have blocks or pillows, you can instead take a block or a couple pillows and place it under the sacrum. It's better to do it with the soles of the feet on the ground first. I don't know why I did it that way. And then lift the legs up. And it should be fairly easy to keep your legs up because of the block or pillows. So if you're having a hard time, you may need to adjust the placement of the block or pillows. Or maybe if you're using pillows, add some height or take some height away. You'll probably need to add because they're squishier. All right. So once you arrive and your legs up the wall or waterfall, begin to deepen the breath. Close the eyes, relax the face. On each inhale, fill up the lungs completely. And each exhale, empty them out completely. I forgot to turn my light on. I don't even know if it does anything. Oh yeah, that's better. Okay. Really focus on the breath. Notice, observe any thoughts that may come to mind, but then let them go with each and every exhale. Try not to make any attachments or judgments about your thoughts. Just let them go. Taking big, deep, even breaths in and out through the nose. You can add on your ujjayi breath if that's in your practice by constricting the back of the throat, kind of making a ha sound with the lips closed. And then just let go of what happened before you came to your mat today, and let go of anything that might happen after. Allow yourself to be present. So today we're doing Yin Yoga. So we'll be holding the poses for around 3 to 5 minutes per pose. This first one will probably be a little longer as you center in and I tell you the story of Chanukah. So, Hanukkah is an 8-day Jewish celebration that commemorates the rededication during the 2nd century BC of the Second Temple in Jerusalem, where, according to legend, the Jews had risen up against their Greek-Syrian oppressors in the Maccabean revolt. Hanukkah means dedication in Hebrew. It begins on the 25th day of Kislev on the Hebrew calendar, so that's why it falls on a different day every year on the regular. What is the regular calendar called?
I think it's Gregorian.
Gregorian calendar. So it's usually in December or November. Sometimes it's like late November, and sometimes it's really late December and it goes into January. And sometimes it's in the middle here, like tonight. It's also known as the Festival of Lights. And as many of you know, especially since I demonstrated at the beginning, it's celebrated with lighting a menorah and traditional foods, games, and gifts. The events that inspired Hanukkah took place during a particularly turbulent phase in Jewish history. Around 200 BC, Judea, also known as the land of Israel, came under control of Antiochus III, the Seleucid king of Syria, who allowed the Jews to live there and to continue practicing their religion. But his son, after he died and his son took over, Antiochus IV Epiphanes outlawed the Jewish religion and ordered the Jews to worship Greek gods. In 168 BC, his soldiers descended upon Jerusalem, massacring thousands of people and desecrating the city's holy Second Temple by erecting an altar to Zeus and sacrificing pigs within its sacred walls. Yeah. The story of Hanukkah does not appear in the Torah because the events that inspired the holiday occurred after it was written. And it is mentioned in the New Testament, in which Jesus attends a feast of dedication. A Jewish priest, Matthias, and his 5 sons led a rebellion against the Seleucid monarchy. Matthias died in 166 BC, and his son Judah, known as Judah Maccabee, or the Hammer. I need to look in that nickname, but it's Judah. The Hammer. I especially like it because it kind of, you probably don't know my last name, but it's similar to the Hammer, and that's what I got called growing up, which I hated, but now I kind of like it. So, anywho, so Judah Maccabee took over, and within 2 years, the Jews successfully drove the Syrians out of Jerusalem, relying largely on guerrilla warfare tactics. I forgot to look up guerrilla warfare tactics, but
I think that's like when they hide like camouflage and stuff and like set traps and fly out of trees and
okay,
like use the nature to their advantage.
that's cooler than I thought. I thought it was like something really brutal.
No, I think it's like actually super tight. Like nature ninjas. I don't know. Anyways.
Alright, Judah called on his followers to cleanse the second temple, rebuild its altar, and light its menorah. Back before Hanukkah started, the gold candelabrum known as the menorah had 7 branches representing knowledge, creation, and were meant to be kept burning every night. So now we're getting to the Hanukkah miracle of really why we celebrate Hanukkah and the Festival of Lights. According to the Talmud, one of Judaism's most central texts, Judah Maccabee and the other Jews who took part in the rededication of the Second Temple witnessed what they believed to be a miracle. They only had enough untainted olive oil to keep the menorah burning for a single day, but the flames continued burning for 8 nights, leaving them with enough time to find a fresh supply of oil. This event inspired the Jewish sages to proclaim a yearly 8-day festival, and why the menorah now has 9 branches on them, 8 of them representing the 8 nights, and the middle branch to hold the shamash, or the helper candle, which you use to light the other candles. Menorah in Hebrew is Chanukah, and each night at sundown during Hanukkah, another candle is lit on the menorah until it is full on the 8th night. Jews typically recite blessings while lighting the menorah and display it in a window as a reminder of the miracle that happened this holiday. Latkes, potato pancakes, and sufganiyot, which is a jam-filled donut, are some of the traditional foods eaten during this time. I don't know why I wrote during Passover, but it's not. You're not supposed to eat leavened bread during Passover, so you can't eat sufganiyot. I wrote Passover for some reason, but I just got stuff to make vegan latkes, and vegan sufganiyot, which I'm really excited about. I'm really excited to make those. Anywho, another Jewish custom practice during Hanukkah is playing the dreidel, which is a 4-sided spinning top. Each side has a different symbol or different Hebrew word on it. Hey, which means take half. Nun, which means do nothing. And Gimel, which means take all. Shin, which means put one in. And that's referring to, so you usually play with gelt, which were originally gold coins, but now you usually play with chocolate gold coins, or you can play with like nuts or whatever you have. And I'll show you. I have a whole bowl of dreidels. These are the symbols. So that's hey, which means take half. That's shin, which means put one in. Oh, hi, Paul. We're going to be working on yin yogas that I applied to Hanukkah traditions. And thank you, Erin. Happy Hanukkah. None means you take none out of the gelt or whatever you're playing with. And Gimel means take all. And then I also have these really cool ones that came from Target that don't have any of those symbols on them, but I thought they were cute. So, anywho, we're almost done talking about Hanukkah. Yeah, I had a blessing to read while we lit the menorah, but I forgot about it. I'm just going to skip it for now. Alright. So we'll take a couple more deep breaths here.
Maybe you can bless us when we do Shavasana.
Yeah, maybe I'll say it when we do Shavasana. Yeah, I'll do that. It'll be in Hebrew, though, so you won't know what I'm saying. Because I didn't want to write down the English variation because it was too religious for me. So, yeah. Oh, I guess I could have showed you my giant dreidel to show you all the symbols. You can't see them from over there, but also got my Hanukkah crystals. So yeah, let's take a few more deep breaths here in legs up the wall or menorah. No, but not menorah. Waterfall. Oh yeah, but I put this pose in it because it's kind of like you're a branch on the menorah. I forgot to mention that. So you can choose whichever branch you want to be, the shamash or one of the other 8. Alright, and then when you're ready, maybe begin to blink the eyes open, circle the wrists and ankles a little bit. And then make your way to one side, eventually making your way to hands and knees. So I'm going to pad my knees here, and you can too. I just have really sensitive knees, especially after I injured my left knee this summer. You can bring the big toes to touch, either knees together or knees wide. Hips reach back towards the heels, and the forehead reaches down towards the earth. If you have a hard time reaching your head to the ground, you can place some props underneath your head and or torso in order for you to do so. That could be pillows, blankets, whatever you're using, maybe even a block or 2. And I chose this pose to symbolize how Judaism became forbidden under the king's rule. So you kind of like have to, I don't know, I felt like this pose was like kind of closing off yourself and kind of being gated in to somewhere where you don't want to be. So really feel the third eye space connected to the earth. The arms reaching out in front of you, or if you'd like, you can bring them down by the sides. Take big, deep, even breaths. Clear the mind, let go of your thoughts. Stay present. Find stillness, find silence. Or if you're listening to music, you can listen to the music, but try not to really make any attachments about it or judgments. Just in here, we're going to be here for about 5 minutes. Maybe you feel your hips sinking lower towards the heels. Letting gravity do the work, not forcing anything. On your next inhale, you can begin to walk or actually we're going to slide forward to lie on our bellies. Move my blanket. And from here, bring the forearms out in front of you. Elbows right underneath the shoulders or slightly further forward. Press into the palms. Let the belly relax. You can either have the gaze straight out in front of you or down if you'd like. And this pose is to represent Latka flipping in a pan. I was looking up the yoga poses, Chanukah yoga poses, and they had like a lot of kids book ones, but none of them were yin. So there was one that was a locust, and I figured this was closest to locust, and it's flipping Latka. So take a few more deep breaths here. We'll be here for about another 5 minutes or so. And you can stay on your forearms or begin to lift the elbows to deepen the pose. And either walking your hands further in or further out to find less of a stretch. And if you're on your forearms and this is too deep for you, you can also bring the arms a little further forward. Whatever fits you best. If coming up under your hands is too much, but you'd like to go deeper, you can also place some props like a bolster, a couple pillows, or blankets underneath the forearms to give you a little more height in your Latka. Wherever you're at, reclose the eyes. Focus on the breath and find stillness. On your next exhale, slowly lower the upper body back down. You can bring the hands above the head in like a diamond shape. And just bring one ear to the mat. Or let's bring our left ear to the mat first and bring your right knee up towards the right elbow or right shoulder. Just to release the low back, since holding that back bend can be a little intense and you want to make sure to release it before you do anything else. So we'll just hold this for about a minute. On your next exhale, reach the right leg back, and then we'll switch sides. So bring the right ear to the mat, and then reach the left knee up towards the left elbow or shoulder. Doesn't have to come up super high. On your next exhale, reach the left leg back. Inhale to press up to hands and knees. Tabletop position, just moving through here. From your hands and knees, you're going to step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. The toes can be slightly pointed out and the heel slightly pointed in. Just make sure the knee and foot are pointing in the same direction. And from here, you can stay up on the palms. If this is too much, maybe come up on a block or a couple pillows underneath the hands. Or if you'd like to take it deeper, either lower the forearms onto any props that you may be using or the floor. Just remember to find your edge, the balance between effort and ease, the point in the pose where you feel sensation, but it's not too overwhelming. It should never be painful, but also not too underwhelming where you don't feel anything. You can pad the back knee if you'd like. And just breathe here into the hips. And this pose represents the Jewish desire for freedom. Because normally in not a yin class, in like a hatha or a vinyasa, you'd be lifted up like this, like kind of asking for freedom. And once you arrive, if you haven't already, close the eyes. Relax any unnecessary tension from the face. Take big, deep belly breaths. Let go of your thoughts and stay present. On your next inhale, press back up to the palms if you've lowered them. Step the right knee back to meet the left, and then we'll just switch sides. So step the left foot forward to the outside of the left hand. You can stay up on your palms, maybe come up onto a block or two on any height, or maybe come down onto your forearms on any props that you're using, or all the way on the floor. One side is probably going to feel different than the other. So just notice that, but don't make any attachments or judgments about it. And once you arrive, close the eyes, relax the face. Breathe deep. Send your breath into the areas where you feel sensation. Use your breath to help you release the tension that's there. On your next inhale, press back up onto the palms. If you lower down, step the left knee back to meet the right, and then make your way into a seat. You can probably use face the long edge of the mat. Let's show you this way. Okay. Yeah, that makes it a little easier. We're gonna start, the right leg out, the left foot bent in towards the right thigh. Make sure you relax this right leg completely. Instead of in like a hatha or vinyasa class, you would have this leg nice and engaged. But we want to release any muscle engagement. And if you're having a hard time sitting up tall here, you can place some props underneath the sit bones, like a blanket, blocks, pillow, whatever you have. Sit up nice and tall to start. Then as you exhale, we're going to side bend to the right. Reach the left arm overhead, but keep the heart spinning open. You can also have the bend in the right knee or even place a prop underneath the right knee. And I like to bring the left hand over, the right hand over towards the left side. I don't know, it's just better. If you have the flexibility, maybe grab onto your right toes, but make sure you're still spinning the heart open. Breathe into the left side body. And I felt like kind of this pose represented like an oil lamp that they would use to light menorahs back in the day. They make some oil menorahs still, but they're really expensive and hard to find. But yeah, if you see the lamps, you can kind of pretend that you're tipping sideways and pouring oil into the menorah to light it. Once you arrive, once again, reclose the eyes, relax the face, breathe deep, sending your breath into the areas where you feel sensation. The left side of the body, the right hamstring, wherever you feel tension. Use your exhales to help you release that tension, maybe allowing you to sink even deeper into the pose. If you'd like, you can also place a prop underneath the head so you don't have to have your head hang. Whatever feels best in your body. Make sure you always listen to your body. Make sure you're never in pain, but you still feel sensation. And quiet the mind and find stillness. On your next inhale, lift up back through center slowly. And then we'll just switch sides. So bring the left leg out to the left. Right foot comes in towards the left thigh. Sit up tall to start. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, tip to the other side. Either the left hand can move down the left leg, or you can bring the left hand to the right thigh. Make sure to keep spinning the heart open, but relax the left leg completely. Maybe place a prop underneath the left knee, or just have a bend in the knee. You can place a prop underneath the head. Let the head and neck relax completely. Take full, deep, even breaths. I don't know if you can see, but Mingy's right there. No. Yeah, sometimes you can use cats as props if you have them. They're sleepy. On your next inhale, slowly begin to lift back up through center. And then we're going to bring both legs out wide. Sit up nice and tall to start. Once again, if you're having a hard time sitting up tall here, bring some props underneath the sit bones. If you have a hard time, if you have really tight hamstrings, you may want to bend the knees or bring props underneath the knees. And you might want to bring a prop out in front of you to lie on if you can't reach the ground, which most people won't be able to. So take an inhale to sit up tall. As you exhale, begin to fold forward, reaching the forehead down towards the earth. And if your forehead doesn't reach the earth, you can't really see what Sunny's doing, but she's using Mingy and my floor pillow as a prop underneath her head. I think I'm going to do a class where you only use props that you can find around your house. One day. All right. So from here, reclose the eyes, deepen the earth, come back to your breath, really focusing on the breath. And this pose represents the Star of David because you kind of are on like a star. You can have your butt as the bottom point, the legs as the two up or the two lower ones, but not the bottom, and then the arms as the two upper ones, and the head as the very top point. So we're a 6-pointed star. Relax the legs completely. If you need to, you can bring the tops, flip the palms over so the palms are facing up so you're not tempted to pull yourself forward. Instead, let gravity and your breath do the work for you. You may notice with each pose that the longer you hold it, the deeper you'll just naturally sink into the pose. So really use your breath to help you release tension. And once again, really quiet the mind and find stillness. On your next inhale, slowly begin to walk the hands in. So you're sitting up nice and tall. Then bring the hands to the outer thighs. Bend your knees and very slowly walk the feet back together. It might be a little sore, but that's normal, that's okay. We held that pose for a long time because it's one of my new favorites. I used to hate it. Okay, now we're going to come on to our backs. For our last two poses. So from your back, you're going to walk both feet over to the right and then also move the upper body to the right. Clasp, whoa, I just knocked my water over. Clasp your elbows up above if you like to deepen the stretch in the shoulders. Otherwise, you can just have them straight out. And if you'd like to deepen the stretch even more in the side body, cross left ankle over right thigh. But just make sure that both hips are grounded, so not one hip is not coming up, and both shoulders are grounded. This is called Bananasana, but I'm going to call it Chandrasana today because we're doing this pose to represent the moon and the moon lighting the sky on the night the Maccabees returned to Jerusalem, and the need for light to be found in the temple. So once you arrive in your Chandrasana, close the eyes again, relax the face, breathe deep, sending your breath into that left side body. Relax the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Use your exhales to help you release tension. Take big, deep, even breaths. Find stillness in the body and the mind. On your next inhale, you can blink the eyes open or keep them closed. Walk the feet through center and over to the right, and as well to the left, and move your torso to the left as well. If you clasped opposite elbows above your head before, try to do opposite one on top. And to deepen the stretch, you'll cross right ankle over left. Make sure to keep both hips grounded, both shoulders grounded. Really send your breath into the right side body. Big, deep, even belly breaths. In and out through the nose. Relax your entire face completely. Relax the belly. Relax every muscle that you can, except the ones that are helping you keep this shape. And even with them, try to use as little muscle engagement as possible. On your next inhale, move your legs and torso back to center. And then we'll make our way to Shavasana. So snuggle the shoulder blades underneath the back. Relax the legs completely so that the heels naturally turn in, the toes naturally turn out. Relax the belly. Tuck the chin slightly so the back of the neck is long. Relax every single part of your body. Starting with the feet, relax the feet and every single toe completely. Relax the lower legs, the knees, the thighs, the hips, the pelvis, the belly, the spine, the chest, the shoulders, the upper arms, lower arms, and hands, and each and every finger. Relax the neck, unclench the jaw, uncrinkle the forehead. Feel the eyes sink deep into their sockets. Feel the tongue relax away from the roof of the mouth. Begin to let the breath return to its natural state, letting go of any breath control. Still staying present, using all of your focus and awareness to focus on relaxation. Shavasana. In this Shavasana, represents or is telling all the people that their lives, people and pigs, that lives were lost during the 168 BC massacre, that they're at peace. Also, I'm going to read the blessing that I meant to read for lighting the menorah. This specific blessing, there's 3. This one is used only on the first night. The other 2 are used on every single night. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehekeyanu v'kimachnu v'chiyachnu lizmach machen hazeh. My Hebrew's not that great, but I tried. you'd like to stay in your Shavasana longer, please do. But if you're ready to come out, start by deepening the breath. Wiggle the fingers and toes. Circle the ankles and wrists. Rock the head from side to side. And reach the arms up overhead, the legs out long in front of you for a nice morning stretch. Hug the knees into your chest and carefully roll over onto the left side. Rest here for a moment. And as you are being reborn, so to say, imagine you're awakening and think of the rebuilding of the temple once the Jews reclaimed their land. And then when you're ready, slowly trying to keep the eyes closed or a soft gaze, make your way up into a comfortable cross-legged seat at the top of your mat. Once you arrive, reclose the eyes if you opened them. Sit up nice and tall, taller than you have all day. On an inhale, reach the arms up overhead, palms touch at the top. Exhale through the mouth, hands to heart center. Bow the chin towards the heart. Take a moment to thank yourself for carving this time out of your day to do something good for your body and mind. And I thank you for joining me. I thank Sunny for joining me and Mingy. And I hope you can take the benefits from tonight's class into the rest of your night, the rest of your week. I'm going to end with a quote by Raphael Goldstein. It's a Hanukkah quote. At this time of year, when the sun is most hidden, the holiday of Hanukkah celebrates the rays of hope and light. Often, it is through simple and unrecognized miracles that we are able to feel the warmth of hope and light. Bring the thumb knuckles up to the third eye space. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, everyone. Hope you enjoyed class. I'm really excited for Hanukkah, so my Saturday class is going to be Hanukkah themed. I won't be lighting the menorah though because it's in the morning and you gotta light the menorah at night. But we're going to be working towards 8 angle pose. So yeah, that class is on Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'll hopefully be back at Crux. I'm just waiting for a response to make sure that I can still go there because it's been a while. But otherwise, I'll be here. Either way, it's going to happen. And then join me again next week for my final Hanukkah class, Yoga for Cyclists. And we will be lighting the menorah for that one with more candles. That's on Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then this class every Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. This next one won't be Hanukkah themed, even though it'll still be Hanukkah. Maybe I'll have the menorah lit in the background. Alright, thank you again. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like my videos so I can become YouTube famous. Just kidding, but do it. Follow Crux Chiropractic on Instagram and Facebook because they're awesome. Let me know if there's anything you want to work on in any future classes. Would love to include them. Oh yeah, and another question. I asked this at my last class. Let me know if you want me to keep my classes 60 minutes or maybe increase the time so you get more time to practice yoga to 75 minutes. Or let me know if you'd like to keep some classes the same and maybe make some longer. Whatever you want to do, I want to help you out and do what you need. Thank you again. Please donate if you can. All my Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal info are on my social media and my YouTube page. And if you can't find it, you can just message me. But yeah, thank you again. Have a really happy Hanukkah. Mingy's gonna come and say bye like he always does.
Happy Hanukkah.
Bye. Have a good night. Thank you, Stephen.